This number one underrated skill in marketing. People think that you have to, hard sell and you have to do all this crazy marketing in order to attract clients to you, but nothing could be further from the truth. So if you want to know what the most important, most underrated skill in marketing is, you're in luck because we're going to get into it right now. Hey, Courtney Sanders here. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new to me, I'm a full-time certified 7-figure online life and business coach, as well as wife and mom. I wear all the hats and do all the things. But one thing, I'm feeling that I get to do less now, even though it doesn't impact this in my business. In fact, my business makes more, even though I'm doing this less. And that is sales, right? More specifically, people think that you have to, hard sell and you have to do all this crazy marketing in order to attract clients to you, but nothing could be further from the truth. And I find that the more I step into this number one underrated skill in marketing, the easier sales and the easier marketing becomes. So if you want to know what the most important, most underrated skill in marketing is, you're in luck because we're going to get into it right now. Now, I started to realize this skill was the most important skill in marketing, let alone in business, when I was focusing on something in my business not related to marketing. So as I talk a lot about on my channel, I am really focusing on growing my company and really stepping into my CEO role in my CEO mind space. And in fact, I have several podcast episodes that I've done. I actually do a CEO series where I share kind of the behind the scenes of my becoming, right? My becoming a CEO and just things I'm learning, mistakes I'm making. It is definitely not a how-to type podcast. It's more like, come behind the scenes with me and see what experiments I'm currently engaging in when it comes to becoming a CEO in my own business. But part of that is that I'm hiring a lot. In fact, as I am recording this video, I just hired 6 people today. 6 people, if you can believe it. This is actually for a new business that I'm starting. I've talked about this on the channel as well, where I'm now offering a done for you service. So we have a lot of clients that come to me who are like, I'm too busy. I don't have time. I don't want to join your coaching program. I don't even want to be coached. I just need somebody to do it for me. Can I just pay you a retainer and you just do all the marketing stuff for me? And for a long time, I was like, no, girl, that's not what I do. We don't do that. But now we do that, especially because I just hired 6 new people who can help you do that, right? So it's in beta right now. We're just working with beta clients. But if that's something you're interested in, I'm sure there's links somewhere in the description box. But anyway, I'm in the mindset of like hiring in CEO mode, right? I'm not even in the mindset of marketing per se, but I started to realize that as I did this in my CEO / hiring mindset, that it is very helpful and it translates to marketing. And in fact, some of my best marketing and my best sales was when I was not even marketing or selling per se, but when I was doing this very thing. So what is it, right? What is the big secret? What is the most underrated skill? The most underrated skill is visionary leadership. Visionary leadership, right? So not just leadership and not just being a visionary, but the two of them together, visionary leadership. And I started to realize this actually when I stumbled across a video by Layla Hermosi. I really love her and her husband's videos. They are like super timely to me right now. Again, as I am scaling and growing a business. And she said one quote that has really, really stuck with me. She said something to the effect, I'm paraphrasing here, that if you want to hire like A players, top talented people in your organization, you need to have a vision that is big enough for them to fit their vision inside of it. And I thought about that because I've been hiring so many people, right? We've hired video editors, we've hired graphic designers, we've hired copywriters, coaches, enrollment coordinators, so many people. Initially you talk just about the role, right? This is why it's a great role. This is how much money you can make. But I find that the more I step into my visionary leadership of really sharing what the vision for this company is, where I see it going, how we want to take it global, how we want to impact lives all over the world, the better applicants I'm getting and the better talented people that I am attracting. And so I was really thinking about this and I was like, you know what? That has been my marketing secret or marketing skill for a really long time that I didn't even realize I was doing it, but I was doing it on the client side, right? So before I was even hiring a lot of people, I was enrolling clients using those same visionary leadership skills, meaning I wasn't focused on marketing per se or sales per se. I was leading myself, right? So I share all of my, adventures. I share my stories. I share even now, my ups and downs in entrepreneurship. And so I've done that from the very beginning. I mean, I've been online since 2009. I've been blogging since 2011, coaching since 2014. So I have always kind of shared my own progress. So really documenting to people how I'm leading myself, but I've always been been very vocal about what my vision is. And I find that my best clients, who oftentimes work with me like forever, right? Who work with me to this day, who have become lifelong clients, are really attracted to that vision. Why? Because their vision fits inside of it. And so the reason why this is such an amazing marketing skill and an amazing sales skill is because it doesn't require marketing or sales, because the person already has that vision, right? They already want this for themselves. They're already seeking it. But when you come along communicating a vision that is in alignment with where they are ultimately going, you will find that they come right alongside you. And so this is why I'm really big on saying, I don't really focus on convincing in marketing. I don't think it works. I focus on conveying, right? But what do you want to convey? You want to convey your vision because it draws your ideal client in. So how do you become a visionary leader, right? Well, the first thing is you need to come up with a vision, right? So there should be something that you see that you are very passionate about, that you are going after with your business, right? So it can't just be, I want to quit my job. I tell people this all the time. That's great. I commend you. Hey, you know, I quit my job and went full-time in my business, but your clients don't get out of bed in the morning saying, oh, yes, I can't wait to give Susie all my money because she wants to quit her job. No, there has to be a reason for existence beyond even you just wanting to support yourself financially. There should be something grander, right, that you want to achieve through your business that people really connect with, and it makes them want to ultimately work with you. Next, once you've come up with that vision, you want to make sure that you are conveying it to others. So again, it can't just be all about, here's my coaching program, it's 6 weeks, and we're gonna teach you how to do X, Y, and Z. But again, what is the grander vision? Do you know how to articulate that? Do you know how to communicate that to your target market so that they'll listen and that they'll show up and that they will be ready to join what you have to offer? If you do know how to convey it, again, you'll find that you won't have to convince, and it's that much easier for clients to find you. Next, to be a visionary leader, and not a lot of people talk about this, is you need to master the art of corralling resources. In fact, I talk about this more in depth in my video about why you don't want to be a solo entrepreneur, how stressful often that can be, and how you really put a cap on your income. But I find that the most visionary leaders have visions that are so big, they know that they cannot achieve them themselves. And so because those visions are so big, they don't delude themselves into thinking that they can do it all on their own. And so they do the work necessary in order to learn how to corral resources. And so those resources can be information. Maybe they work with other coaches or other mentors. It could be resources like equipment, right? Maybe it's video camera equipment or whatever else it is that you need in order to get your content out there. But it's also people, right? I find that people are the most valuable resource. Yes, we think in terms of people like clients, right? Ooh, let me corral those clients. But you'll find that the people who support you, whether they are contractors, different vendors, or true employees, are some of the most valuable resources that you can have at your disposal. So you want to get really good at corralling resources in order to execute on that vision. And the next thing that you want to do in order to be a visionary leader is you want to complete your vision, right? Or you want to at least show that you are completing steps towards your vision. People love to see movement, right? I talk about this a lot. And so if you're not really demonstrating any movement in your personal life, you're not really demonstrating any movement in your business, it's very difficult for people to see you as a leader. Like, yes, you have a megaphone and you're just kind of like talking, but people want to see what you are doing. Are you applying the principles that you're out here speaking about, right? And are you making your own vision come to pass with these principles? When they see that you can make your own vision happen via the principles that you're talking about, they're much more likely to want to work with you and hire you because they believe that you can help them achieve theirs. So yes, the most underrated skill in marketing truly is visionary leadership. And that's why I talk about this in depth in my signature coaching program, the Next Big Name Bootcamp. In fact, we teach you how to be a leader in your field, even if you were just starting from scratch. So we show you from the ground up how to build a brand, but a brand is so much more than your logos and your visuals. It's really who you are. And it's again, that vision really personified in your business, and we show you how to communicate that and really command attention as you attract your ideal clients. So if you want to get out of convincing and you want to start conveying what you stand for so that you can start calling in your ideal clients, you need to be in this program. If you want to learn more about it, you can click the link below to apply, and if accepted, you'll be invited to an enrollment call with my team, and they'll walk you through the entire process. All right, thanks so much for watching this video. If you loved it, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe. And if you can't wait for my next YouTube video, make sure you're following me on Instagram or TikTok, right? I'm on both now. CourtneyLSanders on Instagram and CourtneyLSanders on TikTok. I only have one account on both, so if you see fake ones, go ahead and report them. And also make sure you are subscribed to my podcast, The Courtney Sanders Show, on both iTunes and Spotify. And with that, I'll see you in the next video. Bye.